Good evening, class. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about the importance of public speaking, health education, and communication. But before I get into that, let me introduce myself once again. My name is Carla Lovell. I am a sophomore here at TWU. Some of you may remember me from previous assignments or videos. As to my initial reaction to this assignment, it was nervousness and dread. My fear of public speaking is a very huge thing for me, and I get nervous, and so my accent gets really strong. I use a lot of ums and I have a lot of pauses. No amount of practicing so far has been able to alleviate that for me. But back to the importance of public speaking. So as health communicators and educators, it's very important for us to be able to get our message across clearly and concisely so that the public or community can understand and grasp what we're talking about and what their needs are. So we may find ourselves in an office one-on-one with a patient trying to describe a health condition or a need that this patient may have, but at the same time we could end up in a classroom teaching a group of students from elementary to high school to college level. We may find ourselves on a stage with a huge audience in an auditorium, like you would see in the TED Talks videos, or at the same time we may have to do commercials or speak on news settings in the media. But also, because of the nature of our jobs, we may need to also speak to public officials and policymakers. So we may find ourselves in a courtroom and have to be able to speak clearly and concisely and know exactly what we want our message to be. More importantly, I think, is that we need to be able to pass our message to each other. As professionals, it is our responsibility to pass our knowledge on to our colleagues so that they can also pass that to the communities that they speak in and that they work in. So how can we improve our public speaking abilities? I have found sometimes, not always, practice helps. Speak in front of a mirror to help get over the word humps. To talk to or say your speech in front of family and friends or anybody that'll listen to you, I promise you they won't hate you for too long. Also, I have heard that if you picture the crowd with no clothes on, that helps. For me, that never has. That's just no, I don't want to do that. So what helps with me sometimes when I'm speaking in a crowd, if I can ever get over my initial nervousness, if I find a focal point behind the crowd somewhere where it looks like I'm looking at them but I'm really not, and I can just pretend that I'm talking in the mirror and there's no one there, then it really helps a lot to get my message across without as many of the pauses or ums, and my message can come across a lot more clear and concise. So for effective speech, give yourself time limits for your topics. Each topic should have probably no more than 1 minute to 2 minutes of speaking, depending on the length of your speech. That way you have certain endpoints where you know you're going to go to the next topic, and the audience can follow you a lot easier. And also, it helps to have physical examples. I wanted with my speech tonight to be able to present a presentation behind me like you see in some speeches. However, I was not able to because I was not able to figure out how to get my computer connected to my big screen. So a lot of people use models or pictures or presentations, And that helps a lot with presentations and being able to get your message across. Also, it helps to make your speech humorous or interesting. If you can hold your audience attention, make them laugh, or put a joke in every now and then just to hold their attention, they'll remember the speech a lot longer, and it will stay with them. Also, try to relate your instances that you're talking about with something personal in your life. You don't have to get really deep down and personal and bare your soul, but it helps to talk about something so that the audience can relate to you as a person. And if they can relate to you as a person, then they can see themselves in your shoes, and that really helps as well. So back to my first message, just be clear and concise with as least amount of pauses and ums and uhs in the middle, in between your words. Just try to get your message through, but make it to where the audience can understand what you're saying and not know that, or not think because of the way you're talking, that you don't know what you're talking about. So that's all I have to talk about tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed my speech, and I look forward to reading your comments. Good night.